All right, welcome back to the shop. So last week we were rebuilding CV axles on one of the 1161s that we have here. And I videoed some of that, and I'm going to take and put a little video together just to show kind of what, talking about a problem that some of these have with the CV axles. It seems to mostly be on the 1161s. I'm not sure if the 1163s are really having this problem. I haven't heard of it. But on the 1161s, we're getting issues with this, with the inner CV popping out of the differential, especially after putting new CV bags on them. And guys have had the axles pull apart here and then have the balls and everything fall out of there. And some of that has to do with ride height. These have the 3 ride height settings, which I've done another video on how to set those and kind of different options you can do with those. They came with this with like a squatting setting, and that was for putting them in the aircraft. That was it squatted all the way down, and then the middle was the ride height, and you had the you had the black marks on here that you use to set. You put a string across there, and it should be lined up with just the top of the tire. And then you also had max height, which puts it really high up. And when it's really high up, that's just to clear an obstacle. It's just for kind of an emergency thing. You don't really want to be driving around with it all the way that high. And especially like say you're going to drive through a dip or something like that, or a ditch, and you're going to really extend the suspension all the way down. So you've got it already sitting max height on the bags. And then as you go through that dip, you pull the suspension down as far as it'll go until it hits the stoppers, which it does have a stopper. It has a jounce stopper, or whatever they call that thing, a rubber stopper there. But I mean, you could see the shape of that one. I don't know if you can see if it's too dark in there. It's already in bad shape, so it can already go down farther. And so when this thing is too far down, you can see with it hanging on the lift at the angle that the CV's at. Now, when we set them, I use the marks that are on here, but I set the truck a little bit lower, and I set it so we have a real straight across even axle. And that's going to give you the best chance of it not overextending. I know obviously you're going to be doing something off-road, you're going to catch some air, you're going to be doing something. And the worst thing, I think, is when you're turning, you get in a dip, you get the thing real high up and you're under a lot of power, and then the axle is going to kind of kick over and it's going to pop out. So the following stuff I'm going to do here in the video are the 3 things that we're doing to try to minimize that, to try to keep that from happening. Hopefully that helps. It's what we're doing, and I mean, time's going to tell if that's going to help. So this is our newest mechanic. We're starting to bring them in real early. We actually buy them from their mothers, and then we get them off milk, get them diaper changed, and then as soon as, or get them potty trained. As soon as they're potty trained, we start teaching them how to work on these things. So say hi to our newest mechanic. And this one's finally potty trained, so we just put him to work last week. Go. All right, so one thing on these CV axles, I've learned every time I rebuild one of these, put new boots on it now, I am changing the circlip on it. And to get the circlip, one of the few ways to get it is to buy this kit here. And this is the seal for the differential. And this one brand, SKF, comes with the circlip. The other brands do not. Even though it doesn't look like there's a lot of wear on the clip, I don't know why, but whenever I've reused one, we've had problems with the CV popping out. So always put a new circlip on the spline end here and coat it with grease. Put a lot of grease in there, smash it up in there so that when you pop this into the diff, it slides in far enough without any friction that this circlip can pop out and lock itself in. Otherwise, on the front axles, especially the 1161s, you're going to have a lot of problem with them pulling out. And then one other issue thing that we think is going to help, that we've been trying when we put the CV boots back together, before we put the final clamp on, we're pulling the cup out as far as we can before the balls fall out, and then put the clamp on the CV. Because if you do it standing up in the vise and everything's compressed, when you put it in there, it pulls and stretches these boots, and it's an airtight seal on here, and then we get dimples and stuff in here in the rubber. But what we have is a suction, which is pulling this cup out of the differential, and that's one more thing that's giving it leverage, trying to pull it out. So between a wore out or a circlip that's not in it totally right and this pulling, they seem to be popping out. And one other thing that we've been trying to do as well, when we set the height, we have the height bars here, the marks for setting the height for normal drive range, normal drive height. I'm setting those about 1 inch lower And that gives us just a really nice straight CV axle so that we don't have to worry about it being cocked up and trying to pull out, or, you know, because the more this raises up and down, the longer the axle needs to be. And I think these axles seem to be a little bit too short possibly. And so if you ride this thing at full ride height, like the high, like all the way up, and you do any maneuvering, you can take a chance of popping that CV axle out of the diff. So doing all those three things are something that we're doing to try to minimize the effect of these things pulling those CV axles out, you know, when you're out off-roading. All right, so then right before he crimps that down, we're gonna slide it out and just get it kind of as much extension on it as you can. I'm just putting that pin in there right now just to kind of relieve or open it up so that the air can get in. Stretch it out and then crimp it down. This way, instead of having a suction in there pulling it out of the diff, it's going to have maybe a little bit of pressure pushing it towards the diff. Yeah.
Wow!
Wow, you're good with that.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah. Look at you. It's like a little cane, huh? You look like Yoda. It's like Yoda and his cane.
Wow!
Yeah. So anyways, I hope that helped. I hope this video helps, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button. It's really easy to do. All you gotta do is hit it. It doesn't cost anything. Helps me out. It helps me know that you guys are watching the videos and, you know, you're getting something from the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. My subscribe count's going up a little bit, finally, and my ratio used to be like 90% of the people that watched my videos weren't subscribers, and it's like in the low 80s now. So if you guys could please hit that subscribe button and help me out there, and then also, you know, share the video with a friend if you know someone that you think that would like these military vehicles or like the heavy equipment that I work on. You know, pass it along. I can always use more viewers. That just gives me more. You know, more of a desire to make more videos and better videos. So anyways, thanks for watching and have a good day.